So let me read to you some of what I wrote. Many of us here can relate to the experience of being seemingly and inexplicably drawn to another person in a way that feels almost magnetic. You a couple back there, and those your beautiful children? Do you two feel, you felt a draw, something that pulled you two together? There's some others here, some couples I see in this space. Some magic, something magnetic. Something about you, girl or boy, really turned me on, right? That's love. It's an energy that can come. My brother, I heard you. It can go too, right? But so often it's what gives us the joie de vivre, the excitement, the hopping of rabbits, right? Love. I wanted to play Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't you break it. Love was made, yeah, for me and you. I wanted to be a singer. I don't have the chops. But anyway, I've got you as an audience, and so I'm sorry, bear with me. The intangible dance, the something that happens between two people is amazing. Enamored by early feelings, goosebumps, something, we're intoxicated. We become mesmerized. It's even ethereal, because if someone were to ask you exactly why do you love your beloved, maybe you couldn't give a precise, logical, nor rational reason. The way they smell, the way their lips feel. I miss my mommy's kisses, right? Something about that one-on-one kind of love. Attraction, intense emotions, and staying grounded is easy as long as we don't lose our footing, as long as we don't lose our way, and forget to pay attention to the more practical components of a healthy, sustainable love. You see, after the romance, after the pillow talk, after all that good stuff is over, because that only lasts for a minute, the real living has to happen. The interconnection or the interdependence that I'm talking about is how we live with one another in the day-to-day, mundane, boring, gotta go to work, gotta cut the lawn, gotta do the laundry, gotta do the taxes, gotta do all that stuff that isn't so much fun. But you're doing it together. I saw y'all holding hands. Still in love after all these years. But if you don't do the mundane things well together, if you don't understand that we're in a long-term dance with one another, this isn't the shimmy, shimmy, shake, because we can only shimmy, shimmy, shake for so long. We're going to do, I don't know, is it a waltz? What is it? A box step? A foxtrot? I don't know what it is. It's got to be a dance that lasts longer than what these young folks do. Because, man, they're going. It can't last. Perspiration dropping off of them. The dance of real interdependent love takes so much longer. So I want to step away from the love that's between the single or the dual. There are thruples out there. Let's not go there. All right. The love and the dance that happens between those in intimate love is different than the interdependence that we must forge. I'm not only going to forge it with you, I want to cement it with you, because we're a congregation together. We're a community here in the valley together. We're in this state of California together. Heck, we're in these United States together. And that love isn't working out so well when some states speak so harshly about other states, and some neighbors don't seem to care or respect other neighbors. You see, the reality of our life, the way it's constructed now, very different from the life of, say, someone in 1875. My grandparents on their farm in Valverde in Point Coupé Parish, off the banks of the Mississippi River, where they grew their own food, milked their own cows, even had their own sugar cane, made their own molasses and whatnot. They did everything themselves. They didn't need nobody. Maybe they had to go to the store and get someone that would sell them a new plow because they didn't have the means to make the plow. But they were self-sustaining on the farm. Who amongst us can do everything they need by themselves? Oh, that's the way life used to be, youngins. I don't know have you ever taken those children to a working farm? Let them see what farm life is like? Come on upstate and visit my farm. There's a colonial farm in Cooperstown, New York, that shows what life on the western fringe of the 13 colonies was like in the 1790s. Right? So different. But this interdependence that we require in the modern era means this one does some specialty, that one does some specialty. Heck, I couldn't figure out insurance without Janet. I'm a counselor, pastor, chaplain, school teacher. Don't know jack about insurance. Dumb. Dumb. We specialize. We create. Marilyn, the waterworks. How does water get here from way up north? Them folks up north don't like all this water coming down south now. But the waterworks, how do we get water? On my farm, I have a well that's over 200 years old, still giving me water. I could crank it and pump it and get it myself. What y'all gonna do if the waterworks stop? You gonna go drink the Pacific water? Los Angeles River water? Maybe. It's running now. I see there's water in there. So again, when's the last time you grew the grain and harvested and separated the chaff from the wheat? And you get my picture. Social worker, helping families that are broken, try to work things out. School teacher, right? People, political machines working to try to figure out how the life of the community is going to be made better by our collective wisdom, by our collective ability to come together for the greater good. Interdependence is more than just something we can pass as, that's not that important. No, it's everything. Whether it's the policeman, and I know there are people that want to cancel the police, and you know, policing was formed to bring back runaway slaves. So if you understand the history of policemen, you might have a different take on this. But there are those that would cancel things, because we're in cancel culture now, right? But we need each other. I need the fireman, I need the contractor, I need the street sweeper. In the Dominican Republic, they still sweep the streets they clean the streets every day. In Nueva York, we got too much trash in the streets because we don't have those street sweepers. We need each other to survive. Say this with me. I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We all do better.
We all do better
when we work together. I was at our General Assembly this past June in Pittsburgh, and while I was there, I went to the Fred Rogers Museum. Anybody remember Fred Rogers? Oh, Mr. Rogers. Do those young ones know Mr. Rogers? Yes, he's my hero. Fred Rogers, the most gentle, kind, sweet male I think I could ever even imagine. I want to share with you what his wife said about him. Those of you who are parents certainly know about imperfections, our own children and our children's. Parenting is a struggle. I was always touched when people would tell me how much they learned from Fred that helped them in their parenting. But I have a hunch they thought he had some magical gift with children. He and I had to work at being good parents, just like everyone else. It's not just being parents, folks. This interdependent thing, this love that I'm saying we need a love ethos to be what takes over and envelops the planet, is not something that just a parent should give to a child. It's what every human being should give to every other human being. We need nurture. We need care. We need compassion. We need to hold hands. We need some soy milk, almond milk, real milk, and cookies sometimes. We need to take naps. Somebody needs to help us when we fall. Somebody needs to give us a handkerchief when we cry. We need each other, don't we? Yes. How can the United States make it if the other nations of the world would have stopped sending their things to us? You know, this little nation of ours, and I say little, almost 400 million, we use up so much of the raw products of the planet. What if they said no more? What if Africa stopped allowing those things that allow cell phones, and it's mostly from the Congo, where the materials that allow a cell phone to work? What if the Congolese said, no more iPhone for you, no more BlackBerry? Do they still have BlackBerries? No more BlackBerries for you. Right? We're in something together here. Listen, now you know I've been accused of being Baptist, and I could preach a while, and I wrote pages and pages, but let me close you out with this because I need you to hear these words. And much of this is derived from Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. Do you all know who she was? Yes. She was our first, that's right, the prior president, the first female president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, born and raised in Missouri. I had to have words with her about that state of Missouri. Yes, I did. I had words with Reverend Dr. Susan. But she wrote a piece, and then I'm going to add to this. She says, when my son was just 2 years old, I found him bringing all his stuffed animals into the shower. When I asked him what he was up to, he answered, "It's shower church, Mommy." I smiled and asked, "Oh yeah? What's happening at shower church?" He told me he would be preaching. When I asked what he would be preaching about, he simply said, "Love, Mommy. It's always love." There's an old saying that even the best preachers only have 1 or 2 sermons. Now, they say that. My seminary told me it was 7. But there are those that think ministers only have 1 or 2 sermons in them, and everything else is a slight variation on it, right? They say, love is a core foundation of my religious understanding. That's Reverend Susan. And she said, I can't believe my young son figured me out. He so clearly figured out that the only thing I've been preaching about is love. It comes to you through the words of Voltaire. It comes to you through the words of Jimi Hendrix. It comes to you through the words of bell hooks. And that's where I want to close this out. Do you know bell hooks? I keep asking you all. If you don't know Professor Bell Hooks, I want you to get intimate with her. I used to sneak into her classes at City College in New York City. Bell Hooks is who changed me. I was a paternalistic, patriarchal mess at one point, and Sister Hooks straightened me up good. Bell Hooks, the black feminist writer and scholar, wrote, "I feel our nation's turning away from love, moving into a wilderness of spirit, so intense we may never find our way home again. I write of love to bear witness both to the danger in this moment and to call for a return to love." Dear ones, just as long as you have breath, just as long as you have an ability to do, just as long as you're a sentient being, just as long as there's any ounce of goodness left in you, share love. Share it abundantly. Share it with the black one, the gay one, the queer one, the purple one, the pink one, the green one, the tall one, the short one, the fat one, the ugly one, the pretty one.